Respected Honorable Union Minister for Law and Justice, D.V. Sadananda Gowda, who is attending this Bar Council event in the Tamil Nadu for the first time, is a multifaceted man and personality. He had occupied very many positions in his political career, including that of the Chief Minister of Karnataka. Is very sincere, energetic, dynamic, and bold law minister. In coming days, he is going to shoulder the responsibility of appointment of judges to the both High Courts and Supreme Court of India, and also going to provide the legal solutions with his team to changing Make in India campaign. I welcome you, sir, to Tamil Nadu in this mega event function. My Lord, the Honorable Mr. Justice Chalameshwar is a very popular judge among the members of the bar. In fact, his lordship has the rare distinction of being the only Chief Justice of Karnataka, so Kerala, who was not seen a boycott in his tenure. His lordship's judgments speaks volumes about his expertise in constitutional law, election law, central excise, customs, income tax, and criminal law. Sir, I welcome you for this mega event function. Honorable Thiru Justice F.M. Ibrahim Khalifullah is a prominent judge and son of the soil who authored many landmark judgments. His lordship is known for his fair and empathetic adjudication. In road worker case, his lordship sitting in a division bench quashed a government order that custodied 10,000 road workers in Tamil Nadu with a single stroke of his pen, thereby saving their families from untold hardships and miseries. His lordship is now continuing this humanitarian approach from the bench of the Apex Court. I welcome you, sir. Honorable Mr. Justice Iqbal is a familiar face for the members of the Madras Bar. His lordship was one of the most proactive and most lovable Chief Justice of the Madras High Court. His lordship so motor intervention by way of public interest litigation in a case of young girl student who tragically passed away after falling through the floor of a school bus reinforced the faith of the public in the legal system. His lordship's judgment in foreign law firm's case showcased his lordship's prescience and ability to balance competing interest in any given case, besides having a major impact in legal profession in India. I welcome you, my lord. Honorable Mr. Justice V. Gopala Gowda is a vociferous speaker, besides being an astute and uncompromising defender of human rights. His lordship's path-breaking judgments in Anuradha Shah case awarding over 11 crore rupees as damages for a case of medical negligence has ensured that patients are not left helpless when an act of medical negligence robs them of their precious and valuable lives. Your lordship's judgment, social consciousness, is reflected in the judgment of the Institute of Law in Chandigarh's case. I welcome you, my lord. Honorable Mr. Justice Kurian Joseph is a well-known judge and well-known advocate of a judicial activism in appropriate public interest litigations. His lordship has stressed that judiciary must not be shy to make up for the lapses on the part of the executive and must be vigilant to curb the legislative adventurism and executive excess. His lordship's innovative approach to the developing the law is also seen in his judgment in Jamli Khan's case by advocating amendment of the section 53 of the IPC by introducing one more category of punishment, life imprisonment, without commutations or remissions for heinous crimes. Time has come now to consider this type of punishment in a case relating to terrorism and other heinous crimes. I welcome you, my Lord. My Lord, the Honorable Mr. Justice C. Nagappan is not only a renowned affable judge from our state, but also a well-known former professor of the Madras Law College, which was produced many eminent judges and distinguished lawyers. His Lordship has held in Dev Prakash Diwari's case that in absence of any provisions for continuations of disciplinary proceedings after the retirement, the inquiry against such a retired employee is said to be lapsed and the employee is entitled for the full benefits upon the retirement. I welcome you, my Lord. Honorable Mrs. Justice R. Bhanumati is well known for her strength of the character and integrity. Her leadership judgments in Thomas Burnow's case advocates greater use of advanced technology in criminal investigation methods to procure best possible evidence. This showcases her leadership's scientific temper and willingness to evolve the law to suit modern times. In Jitendra and Shankan Trivedi's case, your lordships had held that in order to do complete justice, a court can enhance the compensation and awarded by the motor vehicles claim tribunal, even in the absence of an appeal by the claimants. Her ladyship's magnanimity is reflected in fact that her ladyship has never turned down any invitations of the Bar Council for any event. I welcome you, madam. I welcome you, my lord. My lord, the Honorable Mr. Uday Umesh Lalit was a leading member of the Apex Court Bar prior to his direct elevation to the bench. His Lordship's direct elevation to the bench brought much joy and served as an inspiration to the lawyers across the country, and confidence that hard, sincere, and dedicated work would certainly rewarded them with the elevation to the post of highest judiciary. Prior to his Lordship's elevation, his Lordship served as an amicus curiae to the Apex Court on several high-profile cases, thereby assisting the court in developing the law. His Lordship was part of the bench that passed history verdict in the Cine Costumes Makeup Artist case, which ended decades of gender discrimination in Bollywood. I welcome you, my lord. Honorable Mr. Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul is perhaps a symbol of national unity. Having been born in Kashmir, his Lordship has arrived in Tamil Nadu as a savior of the Madras High Court. His Lordship is loved and appreciated by each and every members of the bar, as in short span of time implemented several innovative measures in the High Court for the benefit of the lawyers, such as the digital case information display system inside the court halls, pad systems of filing, etc. His Lordship's defense of civil liberties and fundamental rights showcased in the M.F. Hussain case, where his Lordship has advocated tolerance and a liberal approach towards the creative expressions. I welcome you, my lord. Honorable Mr. Justice Satish K. Agnihodri has risen to his position out of sheer hard work and tireless endeavor. His Lordship's pragmatic view and high disposal rate of cases in unmatched, and has made his Lordship's popular judge amongst the lawyers of the High Court. I welcome you, my lord. My esteemed friend, Mr. Manan Kumar Mishra, Chairman, Bar Council of India, my friend, Mr. D. Selvam, Chairman, Bar Council of Tamil Nadu, and the Vice Chairman of the Bar Council of Mr. P.S. Amalraj, my Vice Chairman, the Bar Council of India, Mr. Bojagowda, and the Honorable Mr. Justice A.P. Mishra, the Chairman of the Legal Education Committee in Legal Education, and the respected Senior Advocate, Mr. G. Rajagopalan, Additional Solicitor General of India, Mr. A.L. Somiyaji, the Advocate General of Tamil Nadu, and the members from the Bihar state members, and the members from the Uttar Pradesh, and members of the Kerala Bar Council, and members from the Andhra, and each and every one of the State Bar Council Chairman and Vice Chairman, and members of the each and State Bar Councils. I welcome you all, each and every one and all. And then I welcome the entire legal fraternity, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome Mr. Krishna Kumar, the Law Association President, and Joint Secretary Mr. Sasikumar, and each and every one of you and assembled here. Please, if I have any names have been left, please, I apologize. My lords, this is an extraordinary congregation of the precious judicial minds, having the combined legal acumen and experience of more than 500 years. This part of the nation has never witnessed so many top jurists assembling under one roof, and we are fortunate to benefit from every word you utter, for it is 5 centuries that are speaking to us. The Bar Council of India takes the pride in welcoming you all, sirs, to Tamil Nadu, a land of supreme hospitality and sacrifice and knowledge. Minor and very recent aberrations apart, the legal fraternity of Madras and always try to remain a beacon of the Indian judiciary, a crown jewel of Indian bar. The famed Madras Bar is honored to have you, sirs, amidst it, and in hosting the event, which will remain unsurpassed for several years by every yardstick. The 3 topics we have in front of us: public litigation policy, access to justice, and environmental law, could not have come at the better juncture. It is not a moment too soon to delve into these issues, because as a co-chairman of the Statutory Council of India and president of the Tamil Nadu Advocates Association, I receive here hundreds of representation and suggestions from the members of the legal fraternity from across the nations, highlighting the very gray areas in these topics. My lords, it is the constitutional and statutory obligations of the Bar Council of India to spread the legal education knowledge and free legal aid and access to justice for every section of society. The topics we have intertwined with the Bar Council duties, and that is the reason why the Bar Council of India misses no opportunity to ensure there is no hurdle, the legal or otherwise, coming in the view for a willing common man to acquire the legal degrees, whatever the stage of he chooses, and curtailing the people's right to study law at their convenience will amount to blockading their birthright to acquire the knowledge and impinging for their constitutional right, informed the access to justice. Can anyone say, because should stop studying, especially the legal education, if they have crossed a particular age? Acquiring the academic degrees for the purpose of getting into the government and private sector jobs, one thing, but studying law to practice in courts and tribunals, and entirely different thing. There are hundreds of antecedents of the people with domain knowledge and genuine love of law entering the profession late in their lives. The Bar Council of Tamil Nadu take this opportunity, and the Bar Council of India to reiterate their long-held views that putting the age or any other restrictions on acquiring the legal educations will have an adverse bearing on people's unhindered access to justice. It has taken to the independent India 67 years to formulate a national litigation policy. The two, after the central and the state governments, have become the biggest litigants, accounting for nearly 2/3 of 3 crore cases pending in the courts. The Bar Council of India proposes to organize the periodical center, and the state law officers meet the sensitize them to advise their respective governments to be efficient and responsible litigants. When I met the Honorable Justice F.M. Ibrahim Khalifullah, when we given the invitation, he has asked me whether we are coming and addressing before the gathering, especially the intellectual gatherings. Is it any benefit, Mr. Prabhakar, he asked. I said, sir, definitely. Whenever you comes here, addressing before the lodges gathering, and if you say something, on the very next day, that too, whenever you are appearing before the crowd, and just you are delivering some of the speeches, and the book we have contained and giving, and after studying that, and definitely it benefit of the entire legal fraternity, absolutely I told on the day. Therefore, lordships should continue to each and every gathering to appear before us. And Mr. Subhash Babu, he has come from the Madurai more than 450 kilometers here to address before this one of the sessions. And I requested each and all the members of the bar, I welcome you one and all. And only one more, just it is my request because the Honorable the Minister is here. I would like to make a frequent plea on behalf of the 17 lakhs of lawyers in the country. The Advocates Welfare Fund Act 2001, as enacted by the Parliament with a view to create a corpus fund to provide at the disposal of the trust committee to pay the amount to an advocate's family in case of death or cessation of practice. I would only to request the Honorable Law Minister may kindly take steps to persuade the Government of India to generously grant and allocate more funds to this corpus, similar to the corpus in Tamil Nadu, so that the advocates' families can be financially secure in case of the death of the advocate or cessation of practice. Why I am placing before the Law Minister, whenever the Bar Council of India invites, he will come and he will address the meeting. Sir, we have a right to address, and we are just insisting and requesting the Honorable Law Minister, please do it, and thank you very much. And wait. And we should, the members of the bar, thanks Mr. The compire, Srinidhi Srinivasan, and then Naveen Kumar. Both of them since morning, they are doing a wonderful job, and for them, we should clap. Thank you. And, oh, yes, come. Just madam will put come. Justice. I request the Honorable Justice Bonamadi present a shawl to them, please.